Okay, on this video clip I want to show you a couple of things. I want to show you the library and imported files buttons, track renaming, and importing clips. So let's begin with the library and imported buttons. Down here at the bottom of the screen we see a gray button for library and a gray button for imported. These are toggle buttons. If I click the library button, it turns green and the sound library comes up. This is the SoundCloud library. This is all kinds of users, what they've come up with. This is the personal library. This is a project I was working on. And then, of course, the Quantum Tracks library, which is something that we used last week. Clicking the library button again closes that pane and gives us full screen access to the Myna tracks. Clicking on the imported file button opens a pane at the side of the screen which will list your imported files. So to put something there, let's go to the File menu and choose Import Audio. Notice that you can upload any file that you own. That's very standard. You can upload files in the WAV format, the MP3 format, Windows Media Audio, also AAC, OGG Vorbis, and AIF, slightly less standard files. So let's browse for a file. And I'm going to begin with a voice narration that I made as the basis for one of your assignments this week. So I'm going to click Next. And I'm going to say, only I can see this creation. And then somewhat illogically, I'm going to use Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial as the license if I were to change that. That means that it's free for anybody to use, but they have to give me credit and they can't make any money off it, which seems only fair to me. And then you can put in search information if you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and upload it. Now it does take a few moments to upload a longish file, so we'll just wait for that to happen. All right, and once that file has uploaded, it appears over here in the Imported Files pane, and I'm going to upload another one by clicking More and just go through the same process. And this time I'm going to choose a train sound effect, and you'll see why in a moment, and go through the same process and bring it in. This is shorter, so it won't take quite as long. And I'm not going to upload any more at this time. Now I'm going to drag those two clips onto the tracks. I'm just going to put the train right here. Now I'm going to zoom out so that I can see the entire original track and come back to the beginning. And then I'm going to rename my tracks. I'm going to do that by clicking in the track name, selecting the entire present track name, and just retype the new name. This is extremely useful when you're working with multiple tracks because it can, especially if your clip gets long, you can lose it. What did I just do? I just lost it. There it goes. Okay. So that lets you keep track of your keep track of which is which when you've got many tracks and a long mix which is going over one screenful. All right, now, beginning from the beginning, I'm going to mute the train effect and just listen to the story until I find a place where having a train in the background will work. Rosie Hall buys a self-assembly flat pack quote. It's a little quiet. I'm just going to turn the volume up a little. From her local Home Depot store. Reaching home, Rosie reads the instructions carefully, counts the pieces, then assembles the closet in the bedroom. It looks really great and she's delighted. Now, Rosie lives near a railway line, and as the train passes by... Okay, so that's a place where we want the train sound to come in. So I'm going to move the train sound effect to about that place. I'm going to click the auto button and move the volume of the train sound effect down quite a bit. Well, I would if let me unmute it, because I don't want it to overwhelm the narration. And as you can see, the narration is not very loud. We will turn it up a little, but we're not going to be able to get it as loud as the train. You can see that from the size of the sound wave. So we're going to turn the train sound down quite a long way. Oh, stop. Oh, I didn't want to create these little subs things, but that's okay. And I'm also going to fade in the train sound. And I'm going to fade it out, but I'm not going to play it for very long. So I'm going to fade it out. I'm also going to fade it out quite fast because we don't want it to be there for too long. All right, let's listen again and see how that's coming along. And she's delighted. Now, Rosie lives near a railway line, and as the train passes by, the closet collapses. Undaunted by this misfortune. Okay, so we have the general idea, but the volume is too low, so we'll move it up a little. I think that can stay down because that's towards the end. All right, let's play it again. She's delighted. Now, Rosie lives near a railway line, and as the train passes by, the closet collapses. Okay, so you get the general idea of what we're going to be working on. You're going to import files, blend them together to create an entertaining narration with sound effects.